They smile in our face all the time. They want to take our place. Those backstabbers. Backstabbers. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. Yo, I feel good for no reason at all. You hear me? Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness to the cosmic consciousness, soul control, family, and soul tribe. I hope everybody feeling good for no reason at all. They smile in your face, but all the time they want to take your place. The backstabber. You got to watch for them. You got to feel for them. You got to know how to recognize them, because they all around you, and most of them close. That song, that's from the OJs. I'm a 70s baby. So that give y'all a little idea of how long I've been around. But that song from the OJs, and it been resonating, you know, all day long. I found myself singing that chorus. So the ancestors, that let me know the ancestors speaking to us. Because I'm sharing it with y'all, they speaking to us. Otherwise, I could have kept it to myself and just allowed myself to be in a more higher, elevated state of observation. So by me sharing it with y'all, whoever I'm talking to, whoever that resonate with, or whoever resonate with that, because it won't resonate with everybody, because everything ain't for everybody, you know. But if you in a space where you're supposed to be, then it probably will resonate with you. They smile in our face, but all the time they want to take our place. With that, I want to start this affirmation. I am the full power of my self-control. I am the full power of my self-control. I am the full power of my self-control. What have you told yourself today? What have you told yourself today? And it's good to be in a place of awareness, and we're going to talk about awareness and how awareness applies to consciousness. But it's good to be in a place of awareness to know what are you telling yourself throughout the day, let alone what have you told yourself today. I am a daughter spirit. By me being aware of my space and places of consciousness throughout the day, I am a daughter spirit. I stand in the gap. With that, family, I want to say, know your worth. Don't second guess yourself. Protect your energy at all times. Most important, at all times. And don't let people act like they like you. Don't let people act like they fuck with you by lying to you in your face, by gaslighting you, by false applauding you, etc. and etc. We need to know when people don't like us. We need to know when people don't fuck with us. We need to know when people don't rock with us. But more so, we need to know that it's not because of us. It's not because of you that people don't like you. It's not because of you that people distance themselves. It's not because of you that people ghost you. It's because of you that people take their time to text you back. It's not because of you that people don't fell off. It's because of them. It's because of what your light has shown them that people have done all those things, or that you're seeing all these things take place right now. Because it's taking place right now. We're in another shadow phase. So through the shadow phases, we get to see all the things that we don't like to look at. Because during the shadow phases, they force stuff. They force before us to look at them so we can see what we're going to do about them. Some people don't like you because of what you show them about themselves. I've been going through this all my life. and get into this space that I present myself to you from today. It's not because of you. Some people don't like you because what your light shows them about themselves. And a lot of times our light shows people things about ourselves, especially when we attach to it and we're allowing it to take us through what we got to go through, the transmutations and the transformations and the hard knock experiences to bring us into a better state of vibration. And, you know, it's the light in you that show things to people about themselves that they see and not ready to deal with, and some don't see and don't get a chance to deal with until they meet a you, until they meet a Saiwoo. Your light show them things that they don't want to see, and I feel you, because I'm not just anybody. And more so, I'm not this body I'm in. I'm built from love. And when you built from love, you're going to go through a lot of things to be the full expression of it. I am the full power of my self-control. What have you told yourself today? I hear a lot about consciousness, the term consciousness. It's thrown so loosely. And in the looselessness that is thrown about in the so-called conscious, or spiritual community, it shows me how misinformed people are. It shows me how misinformed we as people are, because I'm not excluded from humanity. So I'm going to speak about it a little bit. Because we are in a transformative phase in our life, everybody. I don't care how high you may think you are, or I don't care how low you may think you are. We are all in a very transformative phase in our lives. We all are manifesting according to what we need to work out in our lives. And that will mean something different to everybody who comes across this message. As always, we are not on the same frequencies. So everybody that hear it will not hear it the same. So I pose a question. From all we have been through all we have experienced, are we more wiser or are we more wounded? As I said, we're not all here on the same frequency. We're not here on the same frequency, timeline, mission, or life purpose. And it's easy to feel like you're alone, especially those of us who are very dedicated, very sincere, and very self-absorbed in our spiritual journey. It's easy to feel like you're alone. So I say, hold your course and stay your course. Remain focused, because it ain't no rush to be yourself. Furthermore, to be conscious don't mean that we better than anybody else. To be conscious don't mean that I know more than you. To be conscious don't mean that we enlightened beings. Everybody conscious, because everybody has a consciousness. To be conscious don't mean that you got a lot of knowledge. Nor do it have anything to do with knowledge itself. Everybody has a conscience. My pet, my family, my pet dog, which is my family, Chip, has a consciousness. If I do something to hurt him, he gonna let me know. He feel, he talk. Even if we don't understand the barks, everything has a conscience. I want to make a point, because conscience is being used too loose. Like consciousness is something that you have that I don't, or that I have that you don't. Everybody has a consciousness. So what does it mean to be conscious? Let me bust the bubble for those who are unaware. And that was a hint. To be conscious don't mean nothing more than to be aware. So when we look at awareness and where we are at in awareness in reference to our states, our places, or our space of consciousness, now we talk about whole different ballparks. Now we talk about the levels to this shit, which reveal the hierarchy and the spiritual ranks, because everybody ain't who they say they is by what they say out their own mouth, or the spiritual rankings with the ancestors and the elders and the master teachers. So what does it mean to be conscious? To be conscious means to be aware. Now, to some extent or another, ain't we all aware? So ain't nothing or too much special about consciousness. I just wanted to put a pin in that bubble for those of us who think we be on something, talking about somebody, this person conscious versus this person. No, you're talking about the levels, not the consciousness itself. You're talking about the levels that we be at in our places of consciousness, not the consciousness itself. Everybody conscious, family. Let's treat each other like that. We need awareness. We need awareness more than we need to be trying to be conscious. We need awareness. Everybody has a consciousness. So we all use consciousness according to our ability. And your ability to use consciousness will determine your availability. And your availability, you will find your superpower. So to be conscious don't mean that we special, family. It just means that we have an ability to think. We are sentient beings. But in our ability to think, do we have the ability to be aware, to be all-seeing, to be all-knowing, to be tapped in? I drop jewels for you so they become tools for you. Sometimes I even break the ancestors' rules for you. Yes, I do. If the God stood before you, what would you say? Or let me reverse that. If you stood before the gods, what would you have to say? Because many of us have had these opportunities and we didn't know it. Many of us have been in the presence of those vibrating and radiating that 963, that God frequency. But at the time, we may have been in a place where we was in the way of ourselves to really see the full scope of what was before us. I've been there. And by getting in our way, most times, if not all times, it stops us from seeing the bird's eye view or the vision. But I bet we won't now. If you didn't know, I bet you know now. I say that to say, who have we really been to people in regards to who we think we've been to people? And it's going to be a recurring question, because as we peel in layers, we see things about ourselves that once upon a time, we couldn't recognize in ourselves. But once we get to see something that we couldn't recognize in ourselves, it gives us an opportunity to correct it, enhance it, or dismiss it totally. So who have we been in regards to people versus who we think we've been in regards to people? And it shows us some scales that may need to be balanced. It shows us some amendments that may need to be made. It shows us some apologies that may need to be given. Do you really treat people the way you want to be treated? Or do you treat people less than you expect them to treat you? Because it's time to raise up the love below. So who do you want to be? For some of us, it's clear to see who we have became. But every day we get a chance to rewrite some things about ourselves. You know, to speak some things over ourselves. And to re-record some history through our own DNA. So today, who do you want to be versus who you have been? Who do you want to be? For some of us, we got to start asking ourselves, who do we need to be in comparison to who we have been? Who do you need to be in comparison to who you have been? Who do you feel you're supposed to be in result of asking yourself the previous question? Write it down. Get you a journal. Get you a pen and a pad. Keep one around you all the time. Put one in the car. We get downloads every day. We get instruction every day. We get direction every day. But how many of us paying attention to it? Who do you want to be? Are you in the world, or are you in the spirit of your soul? Saiwoo not here for everybody. So only my tribe gonna come in. And as my tribe come in, we filtering out some things. Who do you want to be? Write it down. What you feel, what you see, what you hear playing within yourself, showing yourself to you through everybody that you know and interact with daily, showing yourself to yourself through the people that you interact with. This is how we see ourselves, through the people that we interact with, and this is how we start putting it together. You see, through the people that we interact with. So who do you want to be today? Write it down. Because if who we are is who we always been, then ain't too much change, has it? And if it ain't too much change, then what has changed? Our pockets, our job titles, all that shit that don't matter. If we still are who we always been, ain't too much change. So what change can you make that will better you, that nobody else may see? Because that's probably the one you need to make the most. Rewrite your instructions, family. Speak life over your life. Rewrite your instructions. Speak life over your life. If you want to rewrite your instructions, you got to speak life over your life. If you've been rocking with Saiwoo long enough, you know Saiwoo talk slick, but there ain't nothing slick about it at all. It's real life jewels. But if you ain't doing the work, then it probably won't make sense. You probably won't see the connection. Rewrite the instructions that was wrote upon you. upon birth. Speak life over your life. It just sounds slick. It's real simple. As I enter, I exit in the threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power. Watch what come in your life to throw you off balance. And watch what come in your life to add to it. My name is Saiwoo. Feel good for no reason at all. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. I love y'all, family. Stay up.